Hello, everybody listening to the Fair Weather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with my boy A-Rod. He looked like from yesterday he done gained like 5-10 pounds. Tell him why, A-Rod. What were you doing in the last 24 hours that has led to this random weight gain that you may or may not have noticed?
Yeah, so it was my boy Bobby's birthday. Shout out to Bobby. Yes, it was his birthday.
Bobby Shmurda?
Bobby Shmurda, man, we were Shmurda dancing all over the place. But he wanted to have, and I endorsed this as well, and I should have backed out, but I went through with it. A fast food spicy chicken taste off. So we basically got 14 fast food places and tried each sandwich and rated them based off of taste, spiciness, and crispiness.
You did a blind test. It was a blind test, right?
One person had the key. It was the birthday boy, Bobby. He knew it all.
Okay.
But other than that, everybody gave it a blind taste test. Number one was Popeyes. Number two, I keep saying, people keep sleeping on it, is the Chick-King from Burger King. It's solid. And then third was Chick-fil-A. But 14 sandwiches, that's 3.5 sandwiches per person, and my insides are destroyed today.
So. Where did you rate the KFC one?
I think KFC was actually pretty high. I think it was in like the top 5.
Okay, because Mr. Ron Angelo, he endorses the KFC chicken sandwich like a lot. Like he said that's the best thing since sliced bread. The best thing in between sliced bread and the best thing since they started slicing bread. That's what he says. I haven't had it. Me, I've had the Chick-fil-A and I've had the Popeye. I've had a few other sandwiches. To me, at its very best, the Popeyes is the best. But the Chick-fil-A is the most consistent one. That's the thing.
It is.
Chick-fil-A is consistent.
Chick-fil-A is consistent. However, I just don't like how polite they are.
Get out of here. You don't like a little bit of my pleasure?
Nice for me. The my pleasure. It's just too robotic for me. I don't need the roboticness. I'd rather go to Popeyes, deal with somebody getting stabbed that's in the line, and have like everybody just screaming in the background and just get the food and be completely satisfied with it.
With a little bit of spit and hair in your food because everybody's pissed off in the back. That's what you want?
There's no spit in here. It's like going to Walmart. You got to expect to see some crazy shit.
You're going to see some crazy shit at Walmart.
It's not a normal day at Popeyes. If you're going to Popeyes, like, one, you want to purge your insides. Like, it's just grease city.
Yeah.
But it's flavorful grease, man. And like,
it's grease that's worth messing you up a little bit. A little bit of the runs here and there, but
once every 2 or 3 months I can do that. But other than that, I'm pretty like good at eating right. But yesterday was just a bad day, man. It was fun. I don't recommend people do it, but if you have some time, we were trying to go viral too. I was hoping Wendy's would roast us because Wendy's sandwich actually, I like it, and it came out in the bottom like 5, I think.
Ooh. So Wendy's would roast too.
I know. I even tagged them all.
Let me hop on there. I'm gonna get Wendy with the red hair to roast me real quick.
I was hoping they would roast us, but all right. So we got season 2, episode 3/28 today. Today we're going to be talking about the MLB All Star takeaways. Big Bad Vlad Jr. is just becoming the player we wanted him to be, and he put on a show at the All Star.
Better than his pops.
It's too small.
Too early to tell.
Too early to tell, man. His dad has won MVP. He could win an MVP. It would be great. But the sky's the limit for him right now. We got to see a great home run derby, I think. We got to see Pete Alonso just take the cake. He's probably one of the best power hitters out there. We'll discuss that. And then
playing high school
and Jesuit, Tampa product. Tampa just keeps winning, and I'm loving it. And then we'll talk about some of the other components of the All-Star game as well. Behind me, I have the only savior for Team USA right now. If you don't know, that's Carmelo Anthony, who's got 3 medals with Team USA. So he's like the most decorated Olympian for USA basketball. They just beat Argentina today, but before that they were 0-2, losing to Nigeria and Australia. So we'll dissect Team USA and see how they can possibly become a better team. Maybe these are jitters. Maybe, this is the way they're going to play, but it's not the way we're used to seeing USA basketball be done. Then the last topic we're going to discuss is the rise of international players and diversity across all sports platforms. We'll discuss the MLB, NBA, NFL. And for our fun segment, once again, he's going to get his infamous shout out that we always give him. Nick, we're not doing where he go to college. Was it Isaac Bruce decided to call out Randy Moss and Chris Carter and say that he and Torry Holt are a better duo, wide receiver duo because they won a championship. So KK and I are going to give our top 5 all-time wide receiver duo.
Top 5.
Maybe we'll throw some fun ones in there just to be fun with it, but we'll definitely give our top 5 for sure that we think should be on that mention list. So that's the show. Let's kick it off. Home run or MLB All Star weekend or weekdays, I guess. There's no weekend in the All Star.
I want to call it a weekend because at the end of the day, it's a break, and the weekend is a break from the week. So I'm gonna still call it the weekend anyway. So
okay, well, MLB All Star Monday, Tuesday games were pretty exciting in my opinion as a baseball fan. We got to see a home run derby, and I put my money on Gallo to win because he's just a monster and he's finally in the home run derby. A lot of people wanted to see that.
Was he the betting favorite?
He was one of the top 3.
Okay.
I think it was him, Alonso, and I forgot who the fourth was. I think it was, or the third was, I think it was Ohtani.
Okay.
But we got to see good matchups there. Obviously, Gallo didn't win. It's a repeat of Pete Alonso taking it and did it effortlessly. He really did it effortlessly.
That boy got swag. I didn't know he had that kind of swag to him.
I didn't either.
But he was doing his thing, man. It was the big old chain with the little spinny thing. I like that.
That was a gift at the end.
You know how I feel about baseball. I like to see baseball players who got a little bit of style and flair and swag to it. So he brought that little chain. He was hopping around, bobbleheading. Biggie and stuff playing. I'm like, all right, man, I like this Pete.
Yeah, so it was cool about that. One, the chain was like developed by the players. They did like a home run chain. So whoever wins it, like that's going to be passed down for a while.
So man, another thing stolen from the University of Miami.
but regardless of that, that's the youth taking part. So it shows the youth are actually being active in the game,
right,
as opposed to just collecting a check and playing the game. So it's showing fun. It's showing people want to see cool stuff, flashy stuff like that. And he said to Eduardo Perez and the announcers, he was like, they were like, your Waka music is really dope. He's like, yeah, I play in Queens, so Nas and Mobb Deep, I definitely got to play this. And then he started playing Juicy on the last one. I was like, this kid's got some swag that I didn't even know.
And you see what listen, Tampa Bay, I'm an Eagles fan, but the Bucks won. The Rays is doing well. We have Mr. Pete Alonso repping Tampa Bay well. We done dented the Stanley Cup, had to send it back to Canada so we can bring it back to us and party again. I mean, we doing some things down here, man. Tampa's blowing up, and to see Pete Alonso do what he did this weekend, it was very, I think it was, like I said, we talk, I feel like every time we talk about baseball and the sport, we're trying to find ways to fix it. Pete Alonso is one of the ways to fix it. He's that energy that he brought to the derby. I mean, the home run derby is like the slam dunk contest and the 3-point contest kind of combined. And to see, that's what, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the NBA right now, but that's what the MLB needs to do is blow it, like make this seem so fun and interesting and stuff like that, so that people want to watch and tune in. So I'm happy, I'm always support Tampa products. So, shout out to Pete.
Yeah. So he's won back-to-back. That's rarely been done. And he's on pace to go 3 if he can win next year, because he's going to defend his title again.
Will he?
Yeah, he won that effortlessly. And he even said it after they interviewed him. He's like, I'm the best power hitter in baseball.
No, it was very effortless. It was kind of scary how easy it was. I'm like, damn, bro.
But you got to give props to Salvi Perez, because no one thought he was going to hit as many home runs as he did, and then he started catching gas in like that first round.
Yeah,
I think he ended up like 28-30. He beat Josh Hamilton's record of 33 with 35.
Yeah.
And Salvi comes up and then hits 28, and he was like doing it quickly. And you got to give him props because that was the second most hit in the first round.
Yeah.
So that's like insane. But he said it after his interview. He's like, I'm the best power hitter, and he's going to defend his title. So only one player has 3 home run derbies wins. You know who that is?
3?
Only one player has 3.
Is it Griffey?
It is Griffey.
I know.
So,
You saw Griffey. You saw Griffey got a little chunky.
He is chunky, man, but he's getting that Nike money right now.
He getting those checks. I was like, damn, Ken, put down a Popeye chicken burger or two, bro. Like, eat some salad. No, Ken Griffey is like one of the GOATs, so he can do what the hell he wants.
Yeah. So if he can catch Ken Griffey Jr. in the home run derby, that would be something. But he'll be the only one to win it 3 times, and I'm sure he'll try and go for 4. And with his youth on his side and the power he has, it's insane. The sky's the limit for him.
Correct.
It was fun to see the home run derby, in my opinion. Ohtani, it was exciting to see him. Both him and Soto it was a cool face-off. They did 2 rounds, and then they tied both rounds, and then they went to the best of 3 swings. Soto hit 3 dingers off the bat.
Soto was clutch. He came in the clutch.
He's only 22.
As a Phillies fan, I know all too well about Juan Soto, and I'm like, yeah, that man's clutch. You know, he's gonna hit time to hit. So I wasn't surprised about that by any means, because there was a lot of pressure on Ohtani this weekend. So, or this week, early week, whatever you want to call it. There's been a lot of pressure on Ohtani lately. So
there is, and transitioning to the next part of this segment is he had to do the home run derby, pitch and hit. So
lead off hit.
Yeah.
And starting pitcher in the game.
So you have to tip your hat to the guy, because he's making it exciting for you right off the bat. Not only is he a two-way player, but he's dedicating himself to putting himself into the home run derby.
Yeah.
And he's pitching and starting.
He got the dub too. He got the dub too.
And he got the dub. So that's good, but it's making it more interesting, because you never saw a player pitch and hit in the All-Star game. So it's a lot of fun. Some things to take away from this is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. If he still keeps it up, he's just a monster, man.
It's going to be a crazy race of who's going to be the AL MVP, because right now we've got it narrowed down to 2. I don't know who's going to come from the dark horse and kind of surpass them, but we're looking at Ohtani, we're looking at Vlad, and we're talking about the youth. Ohtani's young too. Vlad's young. They play the game so much more exciting. Like when I was watching the All Star game, Vlad hit that. When Vlad hit that home run, Tatis was on the mic with Joe Buck and what's his name and the pitcher. What's his name?
Eduardo Perez.
He was it wasn't Perez. It was Smokes.
Oh yeah, John Smoltz. You're right. Yeah.
Smokes. And he's talking, he's talking. And as soon as Vlad hit that, Tatis knew instantly, hey, that's a home run. Like, and I mean, the ball carries in Colorado, that ball carried. And he knew right away, and just the energy that he plays with. When I was growing up, I was a huge Manny Ramirez fan and a huge David Ortiz fan, because of the same flair that Guerrero Jr. brings to the game. He has a little bit of that swag, that energy that he brings, and to me he won the weekend. I know every time we turn on the TV, they were talking about Ohtani, and yeah, he had a good weekend, but the coverage was a lot. But to me, Vlad just won the weekend to me, because it's just everyone knows he's got next. Everyone, and you can see it. Like everyone's praising Ohtani because he's doing what he does. But is what Ohtani doing sustainable? I don't know. Because at some point, the Angels have to make a decision. Like, look, I can't have you doing both, because he just had he had Tommy John last year, right?
He's had Tommy John 2 years.
2 years. So he's already had Tommy John. He's not 24. He's 26, something like that. He's a kid. Already had Tommy John. I know he's a good pitcher. To me, he's probably a better hitter. So they're gonna have to make a choice. Like, all right, like let's say it's the playoffs, right? Do you want him to be one of your three head dogs, or do you want him to be, DH or leading off or whatever? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot to consider there. So to me, so his health could be a thing. Vlad, I feel like we're gonna be seeing this for like the next 10 years with Vlad Guerrero.
Yeah, well, the thing in baseball is like players start in a position and then their body starts to deteriorate, because obviously you put a lot of time, you put a lot of strain on your body, and of course you're going to move positions. It happened to like the best of players. I mean, Ken Griffey Jr. went from center field to left and to right to becoming a DH. Cal Ripken Jr. moved over from shortstop because it's a lot on your body to third base. Alex Rodriguez obviously did it for the Yankees.
And my boy who hit a home run last night, JT Realmuto, was once a shortstop with the Marlins.
Yeah,
and here he is the best catcher in baseball.
Yeah, but
shout out to JT.
That's figuring it out at a really young age. Because
shout out to JT.
Yeah, so it happens. But the thing about Vlad, which is cool, is like he was brought up as a third baseman, and they saw right away like he could make the throw from third to first, but it wasn't clean. Mm-hmm. And they made him a first baseman, and he lost a lot of weight in the offseason, and the sky's the limit for this kid. His glove was the best thing of the All Star game. You saw his glove.
Yeah, I saw his glove.
Had him and his dad all over it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, the story of like him and his dad is insane. Like
that's the other beautiful part of it. Yeah,
yeah. That's baseball is like a love story to me all the time, and it's cool how you get to see all these players that are actually coming up now. Their fathers were in baseball and they were big name players. Like the living proof is everybody on the Blue Jays, right?
Everybody on the Blue Jays.
Everybody on the Blue Jays. And now with the draft, we got to see Al Leiter's kid go second round overall, and he's going to Texas, I believe. So now we're going to see him come in to baseball.
Tatis too.
His dad was a great baseball player for the Cardinals and the Mets. But you're getting to see all the second generation come up now, and they're making the game exciting. People were worried that baseball was going to be boring, but I think it's a lot of fun. And I really, really, really want to see Vlad Guerrero in the home run derby. I wish he would have did it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows him for his home runs. He's leading the league in home runs, I think. So do it, man. Just go out there and do it. I want to see him.
That's how people felt about LeBron not doing the slam dunk contest. Everyone knows he can do it, but like, yeah, you know, sometimes it's like, whatever.
I know, but your dad participated.
Correct.
You're following in the footsteps of your dad. Come on, man. Just
correct.
You're 22. Go do it, man. Give us some entertainment. If he doesn't, oh well, but it's just like a waste. I feel like he's a home run hitter. We know he's that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, he wins MVP. Ohtani won the game. I think it was Corbin Burns took the loss.
He did.
Super entertaining game. There was a lot of great plays, diving catches. Jared Walsh for the Angels playing left field instead of first base makes a diving catch to help solidify the win. It was very entertaining. Couple things I take away from the game though is so you had 16 players. I think this is the most ever opt out of playing in the All-Star game because of either injury or they chose not to play.
Mm-hmm. Family time or whatever.
Yeah, only two of them had like solid answers, and that was Trout and Acuna. Acuna just tore his shit, and Trout's been injured for like.
I mean, it's more than two. Kyle Schwarber was hurt.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber hasn't played since like July 3rd. He's on my fantasy team, so I know.
Yeah. Okay, Schwarber too. I think Correa has like COVID.
Correa. No, he's on my fantasy team as well. My fantasy team is stacked, by the way. But Correa got COVID or COVID protocol, so he can't play.
Don't worry, bro. We're in the same league, and like right before All-Star game happened, everybody went on the IL.
Look at my team. It's IL 10. Oh, IL 10.
Mine too. Don't worry. On Thursday, everybody will be activated. They'll be straight. But we have 16 players opt out. At least 3 or 4 with viable reasons why. 3 Astro players make the All-Star.
It was 4. I think it was 4.
Well, regardless, they all opted out not to play. I guess they couldn't cheat in this, so they didn't want to show up.
Listen, they ain't cheating no more. You saw that walk-off they hit on you. He took his shirt off so you can see.
The Yankees just suck, man. But is that good for baseball in your eyes? Like, you're going to see the All-Star game, and there's a lot of superstars in baseball, but like the big ones are dropping out. Do you think that's good for the sport? Like, what if the NBA All-Star game, LeBron's just like, I'm not going to participate in this?
Did you not watch the last NBA All-Star game? LeBron didn't even play.
He played 1 quarter and that was it.
No, he didn't play a quarter. He played like a couple possessions.
But he still was there. He was present at the All-Star.
Some of the people showed up for the baseball, for MLB. I know
Schwarber was there.
Who?
Schwarber was there.
Yeah, Schwarber. Some of them actually showed up anyway, because they, some of those were legitimate. Like, I know Garrett Cole didn't pitch, but he just pitched like on Sunday. So like, why would he pitch on Tuesday again? You know what I mean? Like, that's not good for his team. So, so some of them, are legit, but at least they showed up. You know, is it bad for the sport that a lot of these stars don't play? Think about it. The Pro Bowl, everyone opts out. The NBA, they don't give it their all. The MLB, some give it their all. Some like it's every All Star game is the same exact thing. Like it's an exhibition game at the end of the day. You know, if you just pitched on Sunday, you shouldn't pitch on Tuesday. If you have a nagging hamstring injury, what can you do? Like I'm not if I'm if I'm Girardi, I don't want who could have made it for us? I don't know. I don't want my guy. I don't want Bryce Harper going out there and hurting himself even more. You know what I mean? Like if JT Realmuto had like some nagging injuries and he couldn't play, I wouldn't want him on the field because we're 500 right now. We're 3.5, 4 games back from the NL East, being the top of NL East. So I understand that. We still got an entertaining product. You know, we got that Australian dude at the end, you know, doing it, you know, talking his shit, and it was funny. You know, it was, you know, the home run derby was still exciting. So at the end of the day, if the excuse is legitimate, the excuse is legitimate. Now, what I do think they should do, because the NBA did it, they got to make the All Star weekend, quote unquote, longer. Like they played on Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday was the home run derby. Tuesday.
No. Oh, today. Oh, they played on. So there were games that were played on Sunday. There was a full slate of games that were played on Sunday. 24 hours later was the home run derby, and 24 hours later was the All Star game, and then they returned to the field. What, Thursday?
Thursday, yeah.
That's not a break. You play 162 games, and you have dudes with nagging injuries. They need a legitimate week off, and the NBA noticed that because they did that. Yeah, they initially were having guys play, and then the very next day was the rookie challenge, and so on and so forth. And then by Wednesday, they're back on the court. Now they pretty much give them a full week off. So now that they get time to spend with their families, you know, do the All-Star Holt festivities and still have time to, you know, recover and recuperate. You're playing a 162 game schedule. You're getting tested for COVID every day. You're flying around from all Oakland to Texas to Tampa. I would hope that the MLB do a better job just making the All-Star weekend a longer weekend. So basically, you do the Derby on Monday, you do the game on Tuesday, and then they shouldn't have players playing until Sunday. To me, like maybe Monday, maybe that may be too long, but to me, give them a full few days to actually recuperate, actually, you know, whatever, and then you'll probably see less opt-outs because now my body, you know, I know play on Tuesday. I'm only going to play an inning or two, and then I can rest from Tuesday all the way to Sunday. That's beautiful, rather than resting from Tuesday to Thursday or Friday. It's that little time I think will help a lot, and they should look into that, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, that or do it like a weekend thing, and then give them 3 days off or something like that, and then continue Thursday or something. Like because they have an all-star. They have a celebrity all-star softball event. They have the home run derby, and then they have the all-star game. So baseball is a long season. 164 games. We know it's 162 games. It's a long season. So what's 1 week gonna like hurt into that? Regardless, give them some time to get together, see their families really quick, do what they want to do. Those guys that have nagging injuries that are trying to come off the IL, this could be the opportunity for them to rehab it quickly to get off if that's the case. I don't know, but even at that, spread it out to a whole week and do like maybe Monday the celebrity game, because it's entertaining the people that get out there all the time. There's some big name players out there that are big name actors and sports people and musicians that come out to these events. Do the Derby Tuesday, do the All-Star game Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, chill days, and then maybe pick up on Sunday when everybody's doing
and you think about, you know, the NBA, to me, it's they do a really fun job. You know, they have like Friday night, they got the celebrity basketball game. They have the rookie and sophomore world game. And then Saturday have the Saturday night is beautiful. It's slam dunk competitions, 3-point contest, it's celebrity this, and it's a fun day. And then Sunday's the game. And then they don't play until Friday. That's beautiful. Like, to me, if they can just all you need is 3 solid days of just excitement, and then everything will give them 5 days off after that and resume. Like that to me would be the right way to approach it. Because out of all the All-Star weekends, quote unquote, like the Pro Bowl sucks.
Yeah.
The Pro Bowl sucks. But the Pro Bowl activities are cool, like playing dodgeball and this, that, and the third. Like at least they enjoy themselves doing that. So I think everyone should follow the NBA model where they Saturday night they highlight this is All Star Saturday night. Friday night we highlight this is All Star Friday night. Sunday All Star. Pro Bowl needs to do that, and baseball needs to do that. Where it's like the home run derby should be like a sacred night where they have a lot of activities. Maybe right before that, you're doing a national anthem with like Alicia Keys or something like that. You just make it more just appealing to the fans that they want to tune in, because that's how with all this young talent, like we're talking about, that's how you grow the sport. You got to get the young ones in, do some TikTok dances or whatever. I don't know. You saw what's his name on ESPN doing a TikTok dance? Kevin Nagandi. Was it Kevin? No, it wasn't Kevin Nagandi. Pete. Oh my God. Who's the guy on ESPN that does baseball? Like ESPN, he's the baseball guy.
Peter Gammons.
It wasn't Peter Gammons. He's an older guy. Maybe it's not Kevin Nagandi, but he reminds me of Kevin Nagandi.
Is it Buster Olney?
It wasn't Buster. No. Whoever it was. When I remember this, I'll let you know. But yeah, it was like this, make it more appealing. Just I don't know, make it more appealing to the fans.
Have some fun with it too. So another thing I took away from it is the K's in the game. Mm-hmm. The AL struck out 12 times. The National League struck out 3. That's insane.
But that's Tim Kirkton. It was Tim Kirkton.
Tim Kirkton, okay. Oh, Tim Kirkton. Tim.
Yeah, Tim Kirkton.
I should have knew. I love Tim Kirkton. His voice is so funny.
But yeah, I mean, listen, when it comes to the actual product on the field with an All-Star game, I'm never going to actually pay attention to that. I'm sorry. Like, the statistics, like in the basketball game, all I do was dunk. In the baseball game, they're not really locked in. So, like, I'm not going to take anything from the on-field, like, statistically. But, like, just from the whole excitement from the weekend, to me, that was the biggest takeaway. Like, the strikeouts, I mean, look, man, you had Ohtani, you had who struck out who more?
The AL. So Ohtani and his team was striking out all the time.
Okay, so
notorious for striking out though.
All those dudes that hit for power, but they've won 8 in a row. Struck out 12 times and they've won 8.
And the AL's won every year.
They've won 8 in a row. So that's baseball today.
It's crazy. So like another fun stat was every pitcher that came out to pitch for the NL got a strikeout except for one, and that was Kimbrel. It's just cool to see to me. Like I just look at this stuff and I'm like, wow.
You saw my boy Wheeler out there dealing.
He did.
He was dealing. We got us one. Like Nolan needs to get a little bit better this season. His ERA is a little suspect, but he still got his stuff. But Wheeler, my boy was dealing. Oh, he was dealing.
And my only complaint in like all-star selections was, and it's kind of tough to pick, I guess, was who was it who opted out? One of the catchers opted out in the American League, so they had to get another. Actually, no, I don't think they opted out. I think he was the second catcher. Was Zunino for the Rays? I get why they got him, but like his batting average is under 200.
But how many home runs? He has like 18 home runs this year.
He has 19 home runs.
Think about it. The catcher, your ERA for the most part is not going to be good. But if you can hit that thing out the park, unless you're JT Realmuto, who's got a 276, he's just a fine-tuned hitter on. That's different. Zunino
number in his DMs already. Jesus.
Hey, that's my boy. JT is my boy. But Zunino, I like Zunino too. Like. I'll watch Rays games all the time, so I watch him as much as he's out there. He gonna bat 205 or 196, but he gonna get you 35 this year.
He's not gonna hit that many.
He gonna get you 30.
He might get 30, but he's not gonna hit for average. It's just goofy. You never see that. And I had like a little list of guys that I think that could have went in his place. Was Vasquez for the Red Sox, who's hitting 261. He does have 4 home runs, but he's got 34 RBIs. It's the home runs that's appealing.
It's the home runs. You just said it. The AL struck out 12 times.
And he hit a home run in the game. So
exactly. The AL struck out 12 times.
Be there.
Exactly.
My other guy was Sean Murphy, who's hitting 222, 12 home runs, 43 RBIs, which are more than him. But once again, it's the long ball.
Yes. In an All-Star game, think about it. What do I always tell you? The chicks dig the long ball, the 3-ball, home runs, touchdowns. Like they like to see stuff like that. Zanino will in an All-Star game is gonna hit it 420 yards. That's what you want to see. You want to see it leave the park. When Vlad hit that, oh, you knew it was out. When JT Real Muto hit that, you knew it was out. And then Zanino, you knew it was out.
You knew it was out. I won't even fight on that. It is interesting. It's just foreign to me because you want to get players out there that, and the Rays are just breaking the mold. Like they all don't hit for average, but they're winning games. So
exactly, like I said,
I'm not dissing you, Zanino. I'm happy for you. You hit a home run, so that even makes it more exciting.
Get off my lawn, A-Rod. That's you. Get off my lawn.
I'm definitely an old head when it comes to baseball, but hey, man, I played the game. I know how it was played. If I was hitting 201, I wouldn't even be on the field.
Hey, in 2021, as long as you get it out the park, 201 will get you paid.
But he's also probably one of the best defensive catchers in baseball.
Exactly. On top of that, so is JT. You know.
So that's why he sticks around.
You know.
All right. So baseball was fun. It was great. We all enjoyed it. If you watched it, I did. It's always nostalgic to me. But let's switch topics. Let's go Team USA basketball. We supposedly are sending our best to compete with the best. What was he said in Men in Black? The best of the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
So we're losing games. Although we won one today, we beat, I think,
Argentina.
Did Argentina win it last time?
So the thing about Argentina, their best player is Luis Scola. He's 41 years old.
Jesus, he's still playing?
He's still playing. The rest of that team currently is pretty garbage. Okay. So the USA, you know, by now you guys know we lost. Well, the USA lost to Nigeria. You know, I wasn't mad about that. I was watching, so I was at Bar Howard on Saturday watching the McGregor fight. And but before the fight, I had the game on the phone, and I was watching. I'm like, there's no way. I thought it was a mistake. Now I'm like, yo, Kevin Durant's on the floor, Damian Lillard's on the floor, Draymond's on the floor, Bradley Beal's on the floor, like Jason Tatum's on the floor. Like, the best players that they could have possibly sent that wanted to go were on the floor, and Nigeria made 23s and out most of them in the interior. So in my head, as a Nigeria fan, I'm like, yo, it's been coming. We have 6 players on in the NBA on that team. I knew it was going to happen. I mean, I didn't know it was going to. The USA beat Nigeria by 80 points in the 2012 Olympics, led by Captain America, Carmelo Anthony, behind you with 37 points. So I know that. I know what they were capable of. I didn't know we would be able, the Nigeria would be able to win this game, but they did. I was like, all right, it's a fluke. Then Australia happened. But Australia's a good team too. Like they got NBA talent. Deladova,
Patty Mills,
Aaron Baines. Like they got Joe Ingles. Like they got NBA talent, and
Ingold.
they play well together. They're notoriously. Ben Simmons should have been on that team, but he's in Wimbledon kissing up on models and stuff. Whatever he's doing. But I mean, Australia's not a bad team either. But you know, again, we just tanked the bed. I mean, we shot the bed at the end. And then Argentina. Nigeria blew out Argentina too, like the day before. So it wasn't like I was surprised that the USA blew out Argentina. So before I already know what you're going to ask. Should we be concerned, right?
That was going to be my first question. Should the USA be in panic mode, or is just exhibition jitters?
I'm always under I've always lived by this rule. 2 things can be true. I've always lived by that rule. That's why I always look at both sides of everything. I always make sure I pay attention to everything. I read up on everything before I make my final conclusion on stuff. So 2 things can be true. Should they be in panic mode? No, I wouldn't say panic mode, but should they be concerned? I absolutely be concerned. So not necessarily panic mode, but they should be definitely concerned because, you know, I know we already have like all the questions. I don't think they assembled the best possible roster they can put on the court. But the problem is,
I have a question.
The best possible roster that they can put on the court were not all available. Like LeBron James is 36 and promoting Space Jam behind me. And he's coming off of an ankle injury. We talk about that. Everyone, you listen to all the people, Stephen A's and whoever, Woj, and they're all talking about how we need size. What American player is center that we have that's available that's going to be good enough? Anthony Davis is coming off of a groin and hamstring and knee and too many cheeseburger injuries, so he couldn't go. So no LeBron, no Anthony Davis. So what other big could you turn to? They turn to old ass Kevin Love and Bam Adebayo. Those are their bigs. Kevin Love has led the Cavaliers to 22 wins this year. What do you expect to happen? Like Bam is a good player, but Bam was undersized, and that was exposed in the NBA Finals last year when the Lakers. I mean, he was hurt, but the Lakers were clearly the bigger team, and Bam was the biggest player that they had. So it's not a surprise. Bam Adebayo should have been playing for Nigeria, by the way, so that's his fault. But anyway, and think about it. If Bam would have played for Nigeria, there are no American big. Well, you want DeAndre Jordan? He can't even get on the court for Brooklyn. Like, you think he's going to get on the court and represent the country? Absolutely not. And then everybody after that, Embiid, he's from Africa. Giannis, he's from Greece. DeAndre Ayton, he's from the Bahamas. Like, what other big? No, Jokic, he's from Serbia or whatever. Like, I don't remember the country, but he's not from the United States. So, what other American big could they have put on the court? And then the people are saying that we're trying to adapt to the small ball. That's not true, because we try to adapt to the small ball and then we're getting bullied inside by all these international bigs that I just mentioned. Aaron Baines is 7 feet tall. Nigeria has some 6'11" guys. Like, I'm surprised that we lost. It's hard to see the U.S. lose basketball. Against other countries, because we've dominated the sport for years now. We invented the sport. We should be dominating, right? The world's caught up. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. The world's caught up.
So I think they shouldn't be. I think it's just exhibition jitters, kind of just getting people out to see who's going to be the predominantly ball holder or ball handler on this situation, who's taking these shots. I think they're steamrolling it out, and Greg Popovich called out that reporter perfectly and was like, "You don't give credit." I liked his answer on that. I
didn't hate his answer, but I'm gonna ask you this question. Do you think Greg Popovich has lost his touch?
No, I don't think so.
Ever since Tim Duncan left, his team has been trash.
Yeah, but
he had one good quiet year, and they've been trash ever since.
Yeah, everybody left, and they haven't drafted well or gotten him good players. I mean, DeMar DeRozan's kind of getting up there in age. He's developed Murray into something. He's pretty good. But
he has, or this, because the San Antonio Spurs have one of the better development programs in all of sports, and I don't think it's just him.
I know they did, but like now you're starting to see it's kind of and
then Memphis ran them out the building in the playing game.
Yeah, but I mean, at least they made it. Last year they didn't make it to the playoffs, so they got back.
And this year, if they didn't have a playing game, they wouldn't have made it in the playoffs anyway.
I know, but they still made it. But
we're talking about Greg Popovich.
I don't think Greg Popovich has lost his touch. I think he's okay. I liked his response that you got to give credit to these teams because they're playing really good basketball, and that's the thing is like the U.S. when you get to the NBA, we play a different style of basketball that the world plays. Like there's a big everywhere, and that big when he's playing for his country or for his countrymen, he's playing like Shaq. He's playing like Hakeem. He's playing, and he's not gonna develop to that style of NBA play, but he'll play that Euro basketball and play the way the Euros will play him. Yeah, he may get you 10 points and 10 boards, but that was a big game for him right there, as opposed to like Shaq getting 32 and 10 in a regular NBA game. So FIBA is all around small scoring around. Everyone's got to score is the way I see it. Like Kevin Durant ain't going to put up no 40 points in this. He's going to get 18, maybe 25 max, but everyone's going to get scoring around there. Did the USA assemble the best team? I don't think so. I really don't think they did. I think they missed out.
Who else could they have gotten?
I mean,
that's available. That would have wanted to like be all young enough to come over. They don't have too much going on in their lives. Like, all right, I got time to go spend a month or two in Tokyo. I
think it all comes down to like the players wanting to play too. So Kyrie would have been a good one to get on the team if he would have played, but
he's hurt.
James Harden wants to go smoke weed in France, get arrested with a little baby, and look like he had nothing to do with that shit. Like he wasn't high as a fucking
I'm
kite.
like, James, what do you do? Never mind.
James Harden is another one. Go to the Knicks. Go to Julius Randle. Julius Randle would have been a good big to have out there.
Over
Jimmy
who?
Butler. Jimmy Butler's another one. There's players, but at the same time, like I get it's the off season, and here's the other kicker. Remember, it was a short season, so now you're going right back to playing basketball.
But it was a short season for Joe Ingles too. And it was a short season for Patty Mills. It was a short season for Precious Achichua. It was a short season for all these NBA players.
I get that, but that's the difference. Is like I feel like American players are prima donnas sometimes, and these guys from other countries, they know their roles when they get to the NBA. Like Joe Ingles, like he's a great basketball player. He may not score 20 a game, but he's good defensively. He's good offensively, and he makes big plays, big stops, and he's just good. So yeah, he loves the game of basketball. He looks like a slob out there, but he can hoop.
He's the dude that you think you can guard in the game, and you look at the scoreboard, man, he busted me up.
Yeah, but these guys, when they get together, they have their little cliques back home, like they've done this before, and they're like, yo, you want to run it back one more time? Yeah, let's do it. And they go pretty far. Like Australia has had some good players out there. They've had Patty Mills, they've had Deladova, they've had Bogut. I don't know if Ben Simmons ever played for them, but
he has on a smaller scale. He has played for them.
Yeah, so
you know what it is? You know what it is?
It's pride for their country, is what it
is. Here's the other thing.
And one last thing. Yeah. It's also the Dream Team that has fucked this up, because the Dream Team steamrolled everybody, and now we expect the USA just to spank everybody now.
What a redeem team. I mean, LeBron, Kobe, Durant, D Wade, Chris Paul, they steamrolled people too.
Don't forget Mr. Carmelo
back. And then, of course, Mr. Captain America, Carmelo Anthony from Puerto Rico, Baltimore, and New York. He reps a lot of places like I do. He was killing. Yo, when we played Nigeria, it's weird for me to say we when I talk about Nigeria versus USA, because you know I do that. But when Carmelo played against Nigeria, I remember watching that game, obviously for obvious reasons. I'm like, damn, Carmelo, chill out, bro. We lost. Nigeria lost by it was like 80, it was like 150 to 70 or something. That's unheard of. But that's what the USA is capable of when you send the right talent to the foreign countries. Now, my biggest takeaway from this, again, it's just exhibition games. It's not like this is real yet, but you do have to read into certain things, right? The knock that the US used to give to international players when they came to the NBA is that they were all soft, right? They're not soft anymore. Like Paul Gasol, I remember when he was first with the Lakers and he was getting punked by Kevin Garnett and Kendrick Perkins. And Kobe, I was like, yo, you need to tighten, like Kobe tightened them up, right? He tightened them up. And now Paul Gasol got tough. And then I felt like that was like the change that the world needed, like the other countries needed. Like, we just got to get tough. Once we get tough, like Jokic is tough. Giannis is tough. And B, when he's not hurt, he's tough. Like
Luka's tough.
Luka's tough. Luka's an asshole. He has 16 technical fouls this year. Like these guys are
the nicest technical fouls.
But he's not. He's a little immature, but he's young. But he still has 16. Like that's Rasheed Wallace numbers. He has 16. But like that's what it is. I feel like the NBA got soft because now they call foul on everything. Whereas in FIBA, they play on. And then like, well, it's like you have to adjust to the FIBA rules. Like the ball can be in the cylinder. You see people knocking it out the cylinder. Like that's not a goaltend. That's not an offensive interference or anything like that. If the ball's in the cylinder, you can knock it out the cylinder. You have to adjust. The 3-point line is a little bit closer. So if you leave somebody open for a 20-footer, that's a 3 now. Like you just got to play a little bit smarter. I think Greg Popovich needs to adjust a little bit better. And then, and you know, it's an exhibition. There is reason for concern, but Devin Booker's coming. Chris Middleton's coming. Drew Holiday is coming. And hopefully they can dispel some of that. They don't really have a true point guard on this current roster. So the best possible point guard they're going to have is Drew Holiday, who's going to be coming off of a probably 6 or 7 game grueling series, depending how this Bucks Suns series goes. So it's just, they got to just, we'll see. But the world is caught up, and we shouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's a global game. And
so out of all the players on the team, I mean, the one thing that sticks out in my head, and I was just like, yes, like deep down inside, was when the Nigerian dude blocked Kevin Durant. Like, I was like, that was gonna be my background. Honestly, I was like happy for that.
Leave my daughter Durant alone, man.
Dude, they were clown. They were like making memes. They were like the one year like LeBron or KD decides to be the best player in the league, he loses to Nigeria. And they had that picture. I was like, man.
They didn't have a picture with Kevin Durant in Nigeria jersey. My new journey begins.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna jump to that. He'll be a son next year. Anyways, who has to step up for Team USA?
Greg Popovich.
Greg Popovich.
Greg Popovich. Jerry Colangelo needs to do a better job picking players, and Greg Popovich needs to step up and be a better coach. Even again, we have Kevin Durant, Zach LaVine. I don't really care for, but Zach LaVine's athletic. Damian Lillard. I mean, Bradley Beal, Jason Tatum. I mean, Draymond Green is a great international player because he does what the international player does. He's annoying. He's a menace. He's gonna get you 9 assists, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3. He's the epitome of the international player. Like, damn, he does all the dirty work. Like, that's what he is. So he's perfect for international play. Greg Popovich just needs to do a better job defending these back screens and back cuts, defending the 3-point line, having his guys be more physical down low, and then it's going to come down to Popovich. It's at the end of the day, Mike Brown outclassed them when Nigeria played. Like, it was a complete outclassing by Mike Brown. It was literally Golden State versus San Antonio 2.0, and Golden State just completely outclassed San Antonio once again.
Is Mike Brown the head coach in Nigeria?
Yeah, he is.
I had no idea.
Wow. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Mike Brown is the head coach in Nigeria. Go figure, right? Go figure.
He just hung out there in the off seasons and got his citizenship there, so now he can coach.
No, anybody could be a coach in like, what's his name? Patino was like the coach of Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's okay with me. But yeah, I would agree with you too. I think Popovich is the one who has to step up, and he has to realize because in the dream team you kind of have, in all of those situations, you had 3 mega stars that played the big role. It was Jordan, it was Bird, it was Magic,
who led that team? Who led that team to scoring? Do you know?
Was it Magic?
It was Charles Barkley. See, that's the thing about international basketball. Your best player does not need to lead your team in scoring. Your best player needs to be the best defender on the court and facilitate the offense, get his buckets when he can. But Carmelo Anthony might lead your team in scoring. He's not better than LeBron or Kobe, but he might lead your team in scoring. Like, Charles Barkley is not better than Michael or MJ. Huh?
It's a short window, and whoever's going to score the most scores the most. No one's going to piss and cry because you're representing your country.
Exactly. Like you said earlier, you might have to average 18, and the other guy average 18, and the other guy averages 19. Like, that's just how it is. Like, that's just how it works.
But what I was getting at, it was like there were 3. Like, I know Charles Barkley. You said Charles Barkley led in scoring. I didn't know that, but 3 players were like the main focal points on the offense.
They played their role.
Yeah, and they played it well.
They played their role well.
With the Redeem team, same thing happened with them. It was LeBron, it was Kobe, and it was D Wade, and then Melo off the bench, and they knew their roles.
Yep. You had Chris Paul, you had Darren Williams, like, they all played their Dwight Howard, that is Redeem team, man. I would love to see that 92 versus that 2008. I would love it. 2008, 2012. I would love to see that 92 and 96 kind of like combine those two, combine 2008, 2012, and kind of see them to square off, because we sent some bad boys out into Beijing and to, I forgot where else did we go? Beijing, all the other countries that we went to. We sent some bad boys out there, man. We sent some boys.
Vince Carter did that dunk, and it will ever be.
That was in Sydney, Australia,
against
Frederick Weiss against France. I remember I was sitting on my bed and I was living in Orlando. I just moved to Orlando at the time. And I saw him do that. I was like, oh my Atlanta. I've been watching that dunk every year since then. It's 21 years ago. Every year I make sure I got to see that dunk one time. I have to.
My recommendation for the USA to get with the times is pull a Hakeem Olajuwon move. Make him get his citizenship, play for Team USA, do it with one of these bigs that are out there because we ain't got no bigs right
now. But the thing is nowadays, a lot of these international players have more pride to play for the country. You know what I mean? Like, they want to, like, because they know they have a chance. Spain for a while knew they had a chance. Argentina knew they had a chance. You know, Serbia, no, like all these countries, like, you know, we actually have a legitimate chance. Why? Because we have a lot of representation in the league. And when you have a lot of representation in the NBA, it makes you know, yo, we good enough. We could actually upset them. Or Australia straight up said, yeah, we knew we were going to win that game. You know, like they would, against that 92 team, they would have never said that. They were trying to get autographs from Michael Jordan. Then the players on the court, like, yo, can you please sign my shirt? Like in the middle of a game, like, come on, like the game has completely transitioned since then.
Dude, we wax them and they want revenge. It's cool. Dude,
exactly.
Paul Gasol is 41 years old and playing his last game, like with Spain. And it's good for the game. Like he's a great international,
exactly
decorated player from the NBA to FIBA to Spanish league to everything, man. He's great. And you just, it's nice to see him go out with a bang. And Spain definitely poses a threat to the US. They do it every year. We get a lot of players from Spain.
Exactly.
A lot of players from the US go to Spain, play for Barcelona, get citizenship in Spain, and then change their allegiance because they know they're going to play there.
Chill out over there and have a good time. They get paid well. No, they get paid well in Europe. I don't know. There's misconception that the NBA is the only place you can get money. You get bread over in Europe as well. So like sometimes, like, you know what? Let me go be Stephon Marbury, go to China and get a statue built. You know, like why not?
God, man. If you ever get a chance, watch the documentary on him that's on. I think it's on HBO or Netflix. It's really, really good. It's one of the best documentaries.
I know. I still have a little problem with him eating Vaseline, but you know, it is what it is.
Now, he discusses that and it was definitely very strange. But
I got you.
Good one. All right, so USA, get it together. Call my boy Carmelo. He's going through a divorce again, so get him in the game.
Come on, Melo. He got somebody pregnant or something, right?
I don't know, man.
He has twins on the way or something like that. Come on, Carmelo. It's Lala, bro. It's Lala.
No, man. He's just trying to do it for Hot Boy Summer. He's just trying to get
ready. Hot Boy Summer, man. You gotta chill. It's Lala, bro. Relax, cuz.
No, man. It's Lala.
Relax.
All right. Last topic. Let's go. Rise of international and diversity across all sports.
Which is because you know it's crazy. We've been talking about that with baseball and with this basketball stuff.
It's the whole episode, really.
It's the whole This episode honestly is dedicated to the it's like 2021, 2000. I feel like the last couple years we're starting to really see like the world is getting smaller if you think about it, because now like it's everything's more acceptable. Everything feels better. Everything's just, it just feels more fluid, I guess. You know what I mean? So
I think American culture is budding onto the world, and then the Europeans and everybody else that's coming to the United States to play whatever sports, they're gelling perfectly and doing what they love and being embraced by the United States. So
you saw Ohtani, he was smiling this whole weekend.
Yeah,
he had a smile on his face though. Every pitch he threw, every at bat, I'm like, bro, this dude is a happy dude.
Doesn't speak a lick of English. You know,
you don't need to.
He does. You know, it's also crazy. His translator was his catcher during the home run derby.
Oh,
I was like, yo, because I watched him before the game come on MLB The Show, and he was talking to the guys on there, and the translator was talking. I was like, that's the same dude.
That's wild. See, that's dope. That's dope.
It's BP, but still.
Unlike, hey, listen, and Stephen A, you gotta chill out, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. Just chill out. All right, continue.
He said his sorries, but yeah, chill out with that shit, Stephen A.
Chill out, bro. Because he does this more than people think. But they just let him get away because he's Stephen A. But Stephen A, you gotta chill out. But continue.
He's the last black guy on ESPN, man. If they lose him, You and I ain't watching that shit for sure, man.
I barely watch. I only watch ESPN now because they play basketball games on ESPN and some Sunday night games on baseball with the Phillies are playing. Like
it's background noise for me, man. But
30 for 30. I like 30 for 30. You know, I like 30 for 30.
Back to the statement, international diversity. We're seeing all types of foreigners coming into the United States and excelling at the sport, from baseball, basketball, football, all sports really in general. And then women in sports today, we're seeing them in the front offices, like the Marlins have a woman there. You're seeing them on the coaching sidelines. You're seeing them getting opportunities to play in games with men, like the kicker from Vanderbilt. You're seeing it all across sports, and it's really good. So we'll start with the MLB right now first. So All-Star game is the best way to put this. Your MVP, Dominican, your winning pitcher from Japan, and the closer from Australia. What's more beautiful than that right there, man?
Baseball's a world game.
It is a very world game. People don't, it's a Latin American game in my opinion, but Asia plays it a lot too.
Correct.
It's not marketable in
Europe,
Africa, or Europe. Yeah. I know they send like Jerusalem out there for some bullshit.
Yeah, it is. That is very true. I have noticed it's Latin America, it's Asia, it's the United States,
and the Caribbean.
And Caribbean, yeah.
And the United States in general. Canada plays, United States plays, Mexico plays, the Caribbean all plays, South America, most of them play, and then Asia for the most part. Like China,
you got Korean, you got Japanese, you got some Chinese, they're all over the place.
They play, and it's good. It's good to see that sport, which is considered America's pastime, can be spread throughout the world like that. I get that it's not bidding in or like something to play in Europe because they have cricket. Cricket is kind of similar in a way to baseball.
No, they have soccer first. They have soccer first, and then they have cricket and rugby.
Everybody has soccer but us. We're behind in the times. We're starting to get there. But cricket is similar to baseball.
No, of course, yeah. Because UK, they big on it. India's big on it. It's really those two that really are really big on it. And then we talk about Africa. The thing about baseball, it's an expensive sport sometimes. Like it can be.
Oh no, it's very expensive.
In Africa, look, man, you give me a soccer ball, I'm gonna kick it, and you give me a basketball, I'm gonna dunk it. And then if I'm big enough, I'm gonna take that first flight over to the United States when I'm 14, and I'm gonna play defensive end or linebacker and go tackle somebody.
Yeah, and no, I'm not dissing any of the other countries that I like Jerusalem or Italy that played it. But what happens there is when they do the World Baseball Classic, which is really cool, which is similar to FIBA basketball, where you play against the world. Yeah. What ends up happening is dudes with Italian last names go and play for them.
I was gonna say there's a lot of good Italian last name baseball players in the history of baseball.
There are all the Rizzutos and the Rizzos, and the Gallos, and the Gabagoos. They all go play.
Gabagoo.
And then when you're Jewish, if you're born Jewish, you have your birthright to go back to Jerusalem.
Correct.
So a lot of these Jewish-born baseball players, they end up playing, for their country or for their lineage, and go back and play for Jerusalem, which is cool. But
it's cool.
At the same time, you're American-born and you're going to do that. Whatever. I get that, because you probably weren't going to crack the U.S. roster.
The majority, think about it, in basketball, the Nigerian basketball team that just beat the U.S., 75% of them were born in the United States.
Yeah,
this is how it is.
Yeah, but it's those guys weren't going to play for Team USA.
Yeah, because they're not going to make the team.
but they're playing for mom and dad's pride. Mom was born here. Dad was from the Congo. We lived here for a little bit in the summertime, and they have it's beautiful for that. Yeah. I got no beef with it, but all I'm saying is that baseball has become a very international sport. And we're seeing a lot of they've been on the rise for a long time. You predominantly used to see all the white guys doing good. I don't give a shit what anybody says. The best baseball players, they're all black.
Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Barry Bonds,
Ken Griffey Jr. They're all black. I don't give a shit what you tell me. The best baseball players are black. But anyways, you saw Americans striving in this game. Then slowly, we got the color barrier with blacks introduced to the game. Then slowly Hispanics were getting in. You got your Dave Concepcion's, you got your Tony Perez, you got all these older Latin American players, your Juan Murashaw's, all coming into the game and putting their stamp on everything, winning, being marketable, and then now the floodgates have opened. And then
you have Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente.
We have to mention him.
I'm a jackass. I was just thinking things right really with that one. But then we start seeing it going towards Asia, and you got to see who was it, the Dodgers pitchers back in the day.
Ryu?
No, not Ryu. This is back in the 90s. I'm thinking, oh man, it's gonna Chan-Ho Park. He was from Korea. And then they brought in another dude, and you got to see all these different Asian pitchers come in, and then we got introduced to Asian hitters. You got
Ichiro.
You got Ichiro that came in from Japan, was the next big
3,000,
and he put on a show for us, which was great. So we got introduced to the Asian side of sports, and now, in my opinion, if you can't make it in the MLB, you're going to play in Japanese league over there, because they love baseball just as much as Americans. So
you remember when the pandemic happened, and we didn't have any sports? The Korean baseball league was on. I was watching that Korean league at 5 a.m. I was like, oh, they balling out here.
I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but shit, man.
Hey, they balling. At the end of the day, because you know how people give Ohtani a hard time for not speaking English? I don't give a damn. He out there balling. That's all I care about.
They'll pick it up, man. Stop being one of those people like, if he doesn't speak my language, I don't want to watch him play.
No, I'm just trying to see you ball.
Exactly. Go, if you like soccer, half of those dudes, like, they learned English over time, but that wasn't their first language.
To this day, I still don't understand what Dikembe Mutombo say, but I know he balling. He gonna get me 5 blocks a game.
But we do know, if we lose the voice of Cookie Monster, Dikembe Mutombo is right there.
Hey, Dikembe, my boy, man. Shout out to the 76ers, NBA Finals. Dikembe was there. You know, I'm always have a special place in my heart for Dikembe.
Baseball's in a good spot with it, man. I really enjoy the international play. I love the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, it's mostly North America,
South America, and the Caribbean,
and the Caribbean and South America, but mostly Latin countries are in it. But the first 2 years, I think it was Korea, Japan won. Korea won the first 2 years, and then it was Dominican Republic, where everyone was like, they should win this, and then finally America said, we made this game, and that was probably the most entertaining baseball I've ever seen play, because
it's very entertaining.
2 years, America didn't put out their best teams, in my opinion. And I didn't even think this was the best team that they assembled when they won. But the heart that they played, that catch that Aaron Jones had on the wall, oh man, that was great, man. It was good. And then what's the pitcher for the Mets? He used to be with the Blue Jays. Shoot, I'm drawing a blank. Black dude.
He used to be with the Blue Jays?
Yeah. Small dude. Anyways, he pitched lights out. He pitched lights out in the game. So it's just good to see baseball across all platforms. And then you have Derek Jeter decides to become majority owner of the Marlins, and now he's given the first GM role to a woman.
Yeah.
So she's now the new face operation of the Marlins, which is great.
Yeah.
President, not GM, president, right?
Right.
President.
Correct. No, GM.
GM. So you get to see her flourishing.
Mind you, an Asian woman on top of that.
Yeah.
Kim, I can't say her. I don't know how to say her last name.
Ning. Just NG, right?
Yeah.
Ning.
But think about it. That's beautiful. I mean, at the end of the day, that's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's good. And then you're seeing coaching staffs now employing women in the dugouts and stuff now. So we're seeing diversity across it. I honestly, like, the only difference, like, I wouldn't mind women playing baseball, but it's just the mechanics that they go from softball to baseball.
Yeah. The mechanics is the real difference. I know some pretty solid women softball players, like, personally, but
dude, I got to hit against softball players. They throw gas, man.
Yeah, they do. Oh my God, slow down. I thought we were hanging out.
But yeah, man. But like, there's opportunity for growth for women there, and I'm glad Derek Jeter has definitely stepped up and did what he did. Let's shift it to another sport now. Let's go NBA.
We just talked about that with the basketball stuff, with the Olympic Games.
We're going all over again. 2K just released their cover art for the players for the cover First time we get a woman player on it, we get Candace Parker on it.
Shout out to Candace Parker.
We get
shout out to my girl Candace.
I think Dirk was on it one year, but we get Luka now on there.
We got Luka, we got Dirk again.
Yeah, so we get that, and then your MVP this year, Jokic. Your defensive player of the year, Gobert from France. Giannis is in the finals. He's a two-time MVP.
Two-time MVP.
All over the place, man. You know, even Dirk won MVP and finals MVP. So you're seeing basketball flourish all over the world once again. We just talked about it. And then women coming into that. You're seeing Becky Hammon hopefully gets
I can't wait for her to get a job. I've been a Becky Hammon fan for about 15 years now. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I remember the first time I watched. So I'm one of the rare, like, look, I want to be part of the growth of the WNBA. People are so rude and how they talk about the WNBA. I'm not the one to hear that stuff. Because I know, oh, they're not dunking me. I posted this girl on my story like a week or two ago from Nigeria. Oh, one hot bomb. She's only 6'1". She was dunking. Okay. So I'm this whole notion that I don't want to watch it because it's boring. I'm like, look, these women, I've been watching them since they started. I was a Cynthia Cooper fan, a Shell Suits fan early. I've been a Candace fan since she was in high school. I watched her. I remember she did the slam dunk contest in high school. I was like, I like Candace Parker. I've been a Sue Bird fan forever. I've been a Diana Taurasi fan who's going to be in Space Jam behind me once again. You know, shameless plug for my boy LeBron and Bugs Bunny. And then Becky Hammon. Becky Hammon was a baller. And now she's been trying to get a head coach job for a little bit now. She's coached the San Antonio Spurs when Popovich was unavailable to coach. So she has coaching ability. If you watch the Big Three with Ice Cube and them, God, her name escapes my brain right now.
Lisa Leslie.
No. Well, she's coached, but there was a coach that actually won the championship. It was Nancy Lieberman. And Nancy Lieberman is a baller too. Like, so I'm happy to see when we talk about women, I always get excited. So I got NBA 2K, and sometimes I'll still play with it. I'll play with the women team sometimes, like exhibition mode, just hang out, have Brittany Griner just get 70 points because it's easy to score with her in that game. I remember when I went to Maya Moore's first game when I was in college, and Maya Moore has been like the leader of social justice movement. Like, it's a beautiful thing to see women doing a good job in this space. I think we need to give a little more respect to women when it comes to this stuff. Because at the end of the day, man, look, I know it may not be aesthetically pleasing for you, but it's a good product to me. It's basketball. We want to see basketball. If y'all going to watch European basketball, women basketball is the same exact thing. Very fundamental. Everybody's cutting right. Everyone's passing right. And easy layup. Easy three-point shot. Like, they're going to break. And now they're dunking now. I'm seeing dunks night in, night out now. So I don't want to hear this whole notion, lower the rim or do this, do that. Nah, we seeing it. We are seeing it.
They play fundamental basketball. Like, don't knock it. Yeah. Even the players, when in the bubble, they were supporting them with the hoodies, the WNBA hoodies. So
you know how you're a purist for baseball? I'm a purist for basketball, and the women play pure basketball. Like, the NBA is literally pick and roll, drive and kick, three-point shot, layup or dunk. Like, it's the same play over and over. Every team runs the same thing. And women, they run every offense. They run Princeton offense, motion offense, this offense. Like, they run isolation. They do everything. And basketball is just one-on-one. I'm going to get this screen. Come here, pal. Let me get this screen. I'm going to kick it to the corner, or I'm going to drop it to my – like, it's the same play every single night. And with women, it's like I get refreshed to see real basketball played again. Like, I don't know, I just get really annoyed with this notion that people just don't give the women respect. So shout out to 2K for putting Candace Parker on the cover. That was a very, very good gesture by them to do that. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it alone. Shout out to Becky Hammon too, because she's gonna get a job soon because she deserves it.
Hopefully she deserves it, man.
She deserves it.
You know what I hope happens? I hope she takes over for the Spurs. I hope Pops just says, like, yo.
When we only win a bronze medal this year, he should just retire.
I think I don't want to diss Pops. Like, Pops is a great coach and he's a good person.
He's old, man.
He's old, but like, he's entertaining. Like, you can't tell me his interviews are not great whenever he like talks to the side.
Yeah, they're great, but you know, it's the same thing for the last 20 years, bro. I'm tired.
He's just got to be able to get like good talent because
you watch Bill Belichick. And you're still cool with his interviews?
I don't like Bill Belichick.
It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. At some point, you get tired of it.
And he spoke well at Craig Sager's funeral, so I was like,
of course he did.
For that, because he gave Craig Sager a bunch of.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love Pop. Don't get me wrong. But like, I used to love Andy. I still love Andy Reid to this day. But when we got rid of Andy Reid, I wasn't mad because like at some point it was like it's just time. It's time. Like it's time. Sometimes it's time.
All I'm trying to say about Pop is like, yeah, I get that too. But I just think like when he decides to hang it up, I think if Becky Hammond doesn't have a job, he'll be like, you give her the job. Like,
yeah, no, she deserves
that spontaneous kind of guy to do something like that.
I prefer her to go venture out and like get a job elsewhere. Like, so to me, it'll mean her to her. Like, it'll mean more to her. Like, yeah, I got that. Like, I went over to, I don't know, Portland's not even, but the Pelicans. I know they're probably gonna give that job to Willie Green, but like, go over there and like go lead Zion to a first round playoffs finally. You know what I mean? Like, I want her to go somewhere and go get that and get away from this San Antonio culture where it's all Alamo and boring and you know, David Robinson and Tim Duncan. Like, just get away from it.
Yeah, no, no handouts, but Pops is doing her a solid. She's number 2 on the bench, so like that's a solid move. And he doesn't see it like that. He just sees this is a good person that I want here.
She's a point guard. Every point guard is going to be a good coach. That's just they think like a point guard. She's a point guard. So
exactly. And then we'll stick with famous American sports. So we'll go NFL now. You have Carl Nassib coming out to the NFL world explaining that he's gay and everybody embracing that. And then also NFL, I looked in it today. It's very diverse. There's a lot of players from all over the world in there. Very, very small.
There's a lot of Nigerians in the NFL.
A lot of Nigerians.
We start off with the Nigerian Nightmare when he played for the Chiefs back in 90s.
Yeah.
You ever played Tecmo Bowl? If you ever played Tecmo Bowl and you either use Bo Jackson or the Nigerian Nightmare, and you're going to score a touchdown. That was the secret. But we've been had some players in the NFL now.
Yeah, you got Nigerians, you got Australians, you got Canada, UK,
New Zealand. They coming up.
New Zealand, they're converting a lot of players from rugby to be running backs. I know the 49ers tried it with one star player and it didn't pan out.
A lot of Samoans. Well, is Samoa considered an American territory?
It's American Samoa. So yeah, a lot of guys. There's guys from I forgot what it was. One of those countries in the Pacific, small little islands. There's 2 of them. Star Lutuli, whatever his name is. He's from there. But a lot of the American Samoans, like they come from Samoa and then they go to the West Coast, either to California,
Utah, Oregon,
Washington, and they make a name for themselves there, man. Like it's crazy. They're diverse.
Mariota.
It's good. So there's a lot of diversity there, and then you're seeing all these NFL sideline coaches that are women running it there. So
we've had this conversation during Women's Month where a lot of women in coaching and GM positions and positions of leadership in the NFL now. Like I said, we mentioned that with that girl from Vanderbilt who's kicking field goals for him and stuff like that. So I think we've gotten to a point in which we got to, we got to break down these walls, these barriers and stuff like it's crazy that it takes this long for it to happen. Like you had, it's crazy that it takes that long to happen. But when it happens, you see what they're able to produce. Like it shouldn't matter that Carl Nassib had to make an announcement that he was gay. Like it should be, he's cool, whatever. Like that's as long as you producing on the football field. I don't care what you are. You can be black, white, Chinese. I don't give a damn what you are. Go, you out there producing. That's all I care about. So it shouldn't be. I know it's just we have to mature as a people. That's what it is. Like we're so as a human race, we're very immature, and we got to just do a better job just growing up. And just stop being so divisive and everything.
It's all money too, like we always say. And then look at Michael Sam. Michael Sam won Defensive Player of his conference and went 5th round or whatever to the Cowboys and
to the Rams. 4th round to the Rams. Yeah. And then next thing you know, he's in the CFL. Now I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah, dude was a monster. He was a monster out there in Missouri.
He was a good player. I wouldn't call him a monster, but he did win an award. So
he won the award for it though.
But not like still. But you're absolutely right though.
he had your prototypical defensive lineman body. You know, at this point, you're coming from a big program and you're coming in the NFL, but the media just wanted to make this whole gay thing and put it out
all
there.
the stories and
they run with it and they turn it into like the soap opera shit, and then you lose your value because you think you're gonna fuck one of the players in the locker room or something stupid like that.
Come on, man, stop that shit, man. That's so. It's so. Yo, we got, like I said, it's just immaturity. It's ignorance and immaturity, and we as a human race. That's why I always say sports. You know, I remember last year when everything was happening with, like, you know, the George Floyd stuff, and I'm like, look, sports is literally a microcosm of how we're gonna have to save the world, because sports, everything that happens with like color barriers and race barriers and sexual barriers and all that stuff, a lot of it starts with sport. I mean, think about it. Caitlyn Jenner, you know, she was an American hero as a man, you know, doing the decathlon and all that stuff, and now she's a woman trying to run for governor. We have Jackie Robinson, who, you know, had to break the color barrier for baseball, even though Babe Ruth is actually black, but y'all don't really know that. but like, it's just sometimes it just takes a soldier to just take the bullets for everybody, and then the floodgates open up. So I'm proud of Carl Nassib, you know, for his announcement, because I think there's a Buck who came out as bi as soon as that happened.
Yeah.
There's a couple. I remember Jason Collins, I think it was for the NBA, or Jaron Collins, one of those twins that came out a while ago when Michael Sam came out. So, you know, it's gonna take a few guys to just take the bullets for everybody, unfortunately. But when it happens, you know, I'm proud. You know, I'm always proud to see people just stop being so immature and just grow the hell up.
Yeah, you don't want to see people John and Minchie this shit. Like, John and Minchie came out of the NBA. He's gay.
Yeah, like, I remember that. Orlando.
Yeah, 8 years removed he came out, and it's sad. Like, you should look at a man for who he is, not traits or characteristics or anything. Okay.
Man, I forgot about John and Minchie. That's a good name. I forgot about that.
Put that on your list.
I will. Where you go to college?
I have no idea, bro. He had like
he went
Pepperdine.
Shit, bro. Oh, I mean, he went to Stockport Grammar School and Penn State University. Penn State. All
right. But like, he's a 7-foot basketball player, and you need a 7-foot person, and he's played well in the program. He's your obviously go-to guy to do. So it makes no sense that you're going to judge it just based off of that. Because I don't know.
Remember Carl Nassib? Do you remember watching Hard Knocks when the Browns was there? Carl Nassib was the funniest guy on that whole series. Absolutely. And then he was like the captain on the Bucks when he was with the Bucks. Now he's with the Raiders with John Gruden. He's going to do it big, man. I wish him nothing but the best. Candace, I wish her, you know, I'm a Candace fan. Nothing but the best. Becky Hammond get a job.
As much as I hate Gen Z, like, they're gonna save everything when it comes to, like,
they are
just slow down on the social justice warrior bullshit.
They
can normalize things.
It's coming down to our youth, and it's crazy to say that, but
we're the youth.
we're kind of the youth too, but like the youth, like these TikTokers and what social media platforms they got now?
Vapors and all that shit, man.
Vapors and whatever.
It's gonna come down to that. They're normalizing everything. So look at a man just for being a man. Look at a woman for being a woman. And if they're transgender, like, appreciate who that person is and respect that person. If they choose pronouns, I mean, hell, that shit's weird as fuck to me. But if the guy's like, hey, this is how I want to be referred to, respect that and do it. Don't be a dick to that person. Just with it, man.
Yeah, it comes down to respect. It's respect. Like, respect. Why are you so concerned about what X, Y, and Z is saying about themselves? I don't give a worry about your shit and stop worrying about everybody else. So, like, that's the other problem I have. People are so caught up in everybody else's bullshit. Worry about your own bullshit. Damn, like, who cares about what they want to call themselves? Call yourself what you call yourself and move on.
I agree.
Damn.
All right.
Ooh.
I know we can go on this all day, but
but you know, I'm gonna chill out, man. I'm gonna chill out. I gotta go to dinner tonight. Get me some Ocean Prime, so you know I'm gonna chill out.
You got money. All right, so let's wrap up the show. Our fun segment usually is where you go to college. Today we're gonna do top 5 wide receiver duos.
I was excited to do this top 5 wide receiver duo. I'm gonna tell you, I've been aggressively watching football for about 22 years now. So like, yeah, this is a fun segment for me because yeah, I'm gonna let you kick it off, do what you want to do, you know.
All right, so I got 2 on the outside bubble looking in. You want me to tell you who they were?
Who that?
I'm putting these in because I love watching them as a kid. When I was young, I had 2 of these jerseys, 3 of these jerseys actually. So one of them is Chad Johnson and TJ.
Who is your mama? I like that. So when I used to play Madden heavy, I suck at Madden now, man. I can't catch a break. But back when I actually used to play a lot, if I didn't play with the Eagles, I played with the Bengals simply because of those 2 guys. I love Chad Johnson and Terrell Owens, my 2 favorite football players. And then TJ, who's your mama, man? Who's your Mazada? That's how you say his name. But he was one of my he was his name alone in the hair. I was like,
bro, he was a dog.
And he was a dog on top of that. He complimented Chad really well. So yeah, it was a perfect relationship that they had.
And they both went to Oregon, I believe.
No, Chad went to Oregon State.
Oh, that's right. He went to Oregon. Chad went to Oregon State. That's right. The other one I have is Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden. That's my outside looking in.
So I'm gonna just give you my number 5 off the back. My number 5 is Larry Fitzgerald and Anquan Bolden.
Okay, so my 5 is similar to them because they never won a championship together in Arizona, but they've been. I put the Mark brothers, Mark Clayton and Mark Duper, from the Miami Dolphins.
That's boring.
but hey, look at the numbers. Look, I'm just saying that's my 5th.
You want to talk about numbers? All right, go ahead. So that was your 5.
That's my 5. Okay.
So let me tell you why. All right, look, when they were both there, they had multiple seasons of like 10 plus touchdowns and 1,000 yards between the 2 of them, and they were a prolific offense with the 2 of them. I mean, and they I don't know. Go ahead, but yeah, that's my 5.
Went to the Super Bowl, but they
went to the Super Bowl as a tandem.
Dan Marino was throwing to these 2 boys. One year, I think Clayton got 1,300 yards. They always had, for the 3 or 4 years they were there together, at least 1,000 yards every year. Exuberant amount of touchdowns. Like, they were exciting to watch, but they're just not household names because they didn't win the Super Bowls.
Okay, I mean, to me, it has nothing to do with my list. Has nothing to do with Super Bowls. So
mine does and doesn't. All right.
Who's your 4?
My 4th is Isaac Bruce and Torry Holt.
Damn, you disrespected them. So my 4. It was really hard for me to put them at 4. Really hard for me to put them at 4. But because they're 2 of the 3 greatest receivers of all time. But I got Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens. Now, a lot of people wanted to put Jerry Rice. I was looking at other people's lists and stuff, and had Jerry Rice and old boy he played with back in the day. And they were like, oh, yeah. Who?
John Taylor.
I'm like, look, Jerry Rice was carrying them for the stats. Terrell Owens carried.
But John Taylor in the playoffs, though, was ridiculous.
So he's Julian Edelman in the playoffs. That's just say to me, it was Jerry. That was Jerry Rice.
To be safe, John Taylor's name was on the Hall of Fame ballot in 2018. So
he's on. Did he make the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
All right. Is Jerry Rice gonna make the Hall of Fame? Yes. Is Terrell Owens gonna already in the Hall? Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens are already in the Hall of Fame. And that tandem to me, I remember that playoff game where Terrell Owens was crying. I was like, bro, like that's when he emerged. Like, I'm Terrell fucking Owens. So I got them as my number 4.
Okay, so that's my 3 is Jerry Rice and John Taylor and or Terrell Owens.
See, okay. So you used a little caveat. Oh,
I did because he won with John Taylor, and then you got to see Terrell Owens just bud beautifully with Jerry Rice. It was like insane.
So the reason why.
And they had J.J. Stokes, too, who was equally.
Okay, but the reason why I couldn't put because John Taylor is not a better receiver than Terrell Owens. So I can't put John Taylor over Terrell Owens just because they won Super Bowls. That's Dan Marino's the GOAT, or was
Super Bowls.
Dan Marino was the GOAT for a reason before Tom Brady came into the scene. It was not Dan Marino. Sorry, Joe Montana. It was Joe Montana and it was Jerry Rice. There's a reason why they were both considered the GOATs at their positions. No one ever said John Taylor was close to a GOAT at his position.
I'm just saying that Jerry Rice is Jerry Rice.
And Terrell Owens is 3rd in every statistical catery.
Putting him 3rd on my list is John Taylor. So that's what I'm saying.
And I got Jerry Rice and Terrell Owens 4. So for my number 3, I got Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison.
Okay, so my number 2.
That's your number 2. So we gotta.
And
So
Marvin Harrison.
I'll hear your reason. My reason, they were teammates for 8 seasons. They from 01 to 08, they got a ring. When we talk about championships, they got one. They combined between that time they were together, they combined for 1,265 receptions, 17,000 yards, and 134 touchdowns between the two of them.
I mean,
if one like that's Hall of Fame shit between the both of them. They were both just killing it. Greatest show on turf. The most prolific offense until Tom Brady did it with Randy Moss in 08. Like that, that's not the greatest show on turf. Isaac Bruce and Torry Holt was, but I have Isaac Bruce and Torry Holt as my number 2, by the way. Because I know you had him as your 4, right?
Yeah.
So we swapped kind of. So you have Reggie and Marvin
we both have number 1. We both have the same number 1. We know
Chris Carter and Randy Moss?
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
Easy. Bro, Randy Moss came out to the scene and scored 17 touchdowns his first season.
1,300 yards, man.
His first season.
1,300 yards, man.
I mean, listen.
And Chris Carter was that shit, man.
And Chris Carter, listen, as an Eagle and as a Viking, he had hands for days, bro. He had hands. He's going to get you touchdowns. He's going to get you yards. He's not going to drop nothing. And Randy, I still consider him the greatest receiver of all time. No disrespect to Jerry Rice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know people, old heads, like, nah, I'll never say that. No, Randy Moss is my GOAT for as far as receiver. He signed my hat, which I got over there. And Randy Moss was just cool. And if Randy Moss cared, he would have blown every record that Jerry Rice had out the water. He caught a Super Bowl. He caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl that should have been the game winner. But then David Tyree had other plans in that game. But think about it. Randy Moss should have had the game-winning touchdown in that game because he caught it with however many minutes was left. So, to me, we both got the same number 1. Our 2s, 3, and 4s are kind of mixed up. I mean, Isaac Bruce and Torry Holt, they got a ring as well. But they were putting up crazy numbers, greatest show on turf. And then Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison, they was balling with Peyton Manning back then. And then I got Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, and I got Larry Fitz and Anquan Bolden.
Yeah, that's my list. I like that. And I thought about putting the Mark Bros out of there, but I just looked at the numbers and I'm like, damn, man.
But listen, everybody on this list I watched. So
I put no Jets. I put no Jets on there, bro.
Well, I mean, who am I going to put on the Eagles? Todd Pinkston and Freddie Mitchell? Who's there? Who got put from the Eagles? That was a tandem. We didn't have much to choose from, okay? I was, you know who I was going to put? But I don't know how distasteful it was or not. But I was like, bro, Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez, man. That's the best tight end duo I have ever seen.
Oh, tight end duo, yeah, for sure.
So, like, I mean, shit, you want to put – I could have put that on my list, but I didn't want to ruffle no feathers to go there. I didn't want to touch that. Nah, bro, I'm too woke for that.
We'll leave it at that. I like both of our lists. I think we had the same ideas on stuff. I wanted to put stuff that, of course I got to watch as a kid. I got to see Jerry Rice older. Obviously Mark Clayton was older then, but everybody else we got to watch when we were young.
Yeah, man. I grew up on all these guys, man. Like when I started caring about football, I remember Chris Carter, Randy Moss. I was like, damn, that's beautiful.
There'll be dudes that are like put Stallworth and Lynn Swan on there.
I saw that. I'm like, bro, like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I can't speak on that. I can't speak on that. Like, It's like the whole debate that people have, like with Wilt Chamberlain. Why isn't he considered like the GOAT or anything? Man, Wilt Chamberlain was literally playing against people 3, 4, 5 inches shorter than him. Of course, he's gonna score 100 points and have 50 rebounds. Everybody was 6'5" and was like a car dealer they were car salesmen on the weekend, and they had to pull up to the game Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen Semi-Pro?
His biggest threat was a 6'8" man. That was his biggest threat. And he was
Bill Russell was a dog now. Bill Russell was a dog.
He's still a dog, man. He's throwing middle fingers at
Bill Russell is a dog. So.
All right, man. Let's wrap up the show. You got to get to dinner. You got Ocean Prime, so let's run down the list. Twitter @fair_weather_pod, IG, Facebook, YouTube. You can find us. Just search the Fair Weather Podcast. You will find us there. And wherever you subscribe to your podcast, audio-wise, you can listen to us there.
Yes, Space Jam. Now, Space Jam 2 is not going to be as good as Space Jam 1. No, you know how much I love LeBron. But Space Jam, the original Space Jam, I have 3 copies of it, 2 on DVD, a special edition version and a regular version, and I have it on VHS. But it does come out this weekend. Go and watch it and support the billionaire LeBron. Support Bugs Bunny. And subscribe, hit that subscribe button, like button, share with your best friend, your girlfriend, your this friend and that friend. Share it, enjoy.
Team USA, Paul Mello.
Hey, call Mello. Call Mello. Stay mellow. Stay mellow. Peace.